VC and MD at Mahindra Finance, joining in to discuss that. Good to have you on board. Given that your disbursements continue to look strong, walk us through the demand trends, and more importantly, do you think that this 14,500 crore rupee number looks sustainable?
So, we've been talking about it even in the previous rounds, and we continue to see the rural demand is holding up. The footfall at the dealership continues to be high. And in this month, we also saw availability of the pre-owned vehicle going up, and therefore the growth of pre-owned vehicle has been very good. So overall, I would think that the growth has come without exception of any geography. Like we are seeing growth across the country for us from all states that we are present, as well as in almost all products that we are present. So, the tractors have done well for us from a retail perspective. Pre-owned has done well. In the car segment, the volumes have been very aggressive. We have gained some market share as well. In the Mahindra Auto segment, we have gained market share. And as we were talking last time, we have also added a new segment, which is the prime segment, where we were not a very active participant in the past. And we have kind of offered some competitive schemes and rates, and we have been able to gain market share even from the prime segment, which otherwise normally is catered to by the bank. So I think overall has been a good story for us, and the demand is holding up. Sentiments are very positive.
Right. Ramesh, your collection efficiencies continue to improve. What's working for you, and do you think this is sustainable?
So the good part in collection, again, I'll go back to our discussions in the past when our NPAs were going up, and we were repeatedly saying these are earn and pay customers, and as they start to earn, you will start them repay their liability, and we don't see delinquent account becoming, bad loans of future. So clearly we see that people are earning well, and they are therefore discharging their liability pretty well. And when I say they are earning well, I mean, we had good festival season. That means the use of products were very high, good wedding season, good farm cash flow, good infra and contracting cash flow. I think all of this is pushing up the cash flow for customer, and they want to discharge their liability for sure. And that's what is seeing improvement in collection efficiency, which is what is seeing continuous improvement in our NPA numbers improving and coming down continuously. And more importantly, even the stage 2 numbers are registering good improvement. There has been no forward flow.
So one major concern for investors in recent month is that Mahindra and Mahindra Finance was directed by RBI not to use a third party for collections. How has that changed life for you?
So, repossession, this is something that I've said several times, is the last resort of settlement. That's not the first approach to recovery of dues from customers. And when the cash flows in the market is pretty good, we don't require to resort to repossession in a very aggressive manner. But it's equally important to understand that for a retail finance company, repossession is an extremely important tool so that no customer misuses the liability that he or she needs to pay us. So therefore, in defaulting cases where we find intentional defaulters, we do definitely want to resort to repossession, and that's a really, really required tool at the retail level. In a normal circumstances, we would have repossessed 3,000 odd vehicle in difficult times, but in a good cash flow month, the repossession falls down to about 2,000 vehicle. So if we had a possibility of repossession, our NPAs would have been another 2,000 numbers lower than where we are today. Clearly, we think that this tool is a requirement to ensure that customers don't take unnecessary advantage of our not able to repossess vehicles. So far as we are concerned, we have taken every step that was required to tighten our process, while we've been following every process that is required legitimately for a repossession. But there were obviously, when you review, you do find some areas which can be further tightened. We have tightened those as well. And we are in touch with the regulator on a very, very regular basis. And we're very confident that once we are able to convince them that all steps have been taken, we should be given the rights to even repossess going forward. I can't put a date and time to it, but we have definitely taken all required steps, and we are very hopeful that we should be able to get that order for repossessions.
Thank you for joining us. Now, as you walk into trade this morning, it just